What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. It's been a long time. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Life has been all about my beautiful daughter who was born about 7 weeks ago by the time this comes up. So I wanted to give you guys last night's lesson in Kali where we did a little bit of pad work infused with our single stick. So one of the things that has been my goal is to start to repair some bridges I've burned. If you guys don't know, Union Martial Arts is composed primarily of two different class curriculums. One being Kun Tao, which is our version of striking. It is a karate system that has a lot of Filipino, Japanese, and Chinese influence into it, at least the particular way that we train it. And then we also have the Kali side, which is where you would find the weaponry and a lot of the clinching and grappling. But as the years go on and as the academy has matured, I started to want to kind of repair that bridge. I split it down into two separate classes long ago. The way that it used to be taught is it was taught at the same time. And I did that because I realized that, you know, if a student were to obtain the rank of a black belt in Kun Tao, but not really have spent as much time with the weapons, and automatically receive the rank of black sash or black belt in Kali as well, it didn't really justify, because there's so many things outside of punching and kicking and more gross motor skills and stances and things of that nature that Kun Tao represents that isn't necessarily the primary goal with Kali. And as my students have matured and have reached high, black belts themselves under me, and they kind of have been raised in the thought process of me, really dissecting and really paying a lot of attention to detail, now I kind of want to make them have that ability to switch between striking to get into grappling, striking to get into clinch work, using the weapon to close the distance, to grapple, to strike, and not just be under the spell of, when you train Filipino martial arts, you train everything. You might learn a little bit of everything, a couple punches here and there, a couple grapples here and there. But in order to truly appreciate that opening, to truly appreciate that bridge to that concept of grappling, it's important to have a system and structure in which where we borrow from jiu-jitsu, we borrow from Kun Tao, we borrow from boxing, and to be able to pull those all together to the point where when I think I'm in an empty hand concept, it's not just block check counters, not just flow entries. It's overhooks and underhooks, it's clinching, it's takedowns, it's submissions, it's striking, it's boxing, it's kicking. And to have that ultimate blend without it being, too blurry between the lines, I think is a very important skill to have. And I think it's a way that we can further validate why we train these two primary systems of Kun Tao striking and Kali weaponry, and how we supplement that with other arts and other systems to make a well-rounded martial artist. So last night we did some pad work with the padded sticks. You're going to see a little bit of that. That's lesson number 4 on Anastacio Kali Online. We have so many projects planned, so many things to do. We have a huge Kali grading at the end of October. Just trying to balance everything, so I appreciate you guys continuing to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys still supporting this channel, even though I'm so absent. I'm going to do my best to continue giving you guys content. If you want a full breakdown of lesson number 4, go ahead and check out Anastacio Kali Online. And if you need anything else on there, be it apparel, be it other training courses we have, like the empty hand entry system or FMA concepts, you can use the discount code NEXTGEN to save yourself 20% off. So I appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoy the video. So when we started off, remember it's still self-defense based before we got into the reps and it started to feel like a sparring class. I started off with my right lead because I had the stick in my hand, and my primary use with the stick is medium to long range. It's these angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 basic strikes. Okay? I visually assessed and I realized, to my knowledge, he doesn't have a weapon. He starts approaching me. Remember, I assessed based off of his physique, his height, his weight, his stance, his technique even. Can I accomplish the goal that I'm about to do with my empty hand versus his empty hand? As far as I know, we look around the same stature, but my confidence in my safety hand allows me to take that next step. I know that this hand can trump most people, even if you had a stick, okay? So I start off with my right leg, okay? He punches with that right hand. I step 45 degrees, I parry with that left hand. I tuck this away because I want to make sure I can still use it if I need to, right? That first combination, we did right hand punch because the situation didn't change. Nothing told me that I need to use my stick yet. And then I use a back fist to clear. And I loaded up this right hip here to go angle 1 right through the pad, right? So at the very end, I realized I needed to use that angle 1, okay?
Second combination is the same concept, just different application. I use same hand to cross. He comes back with a shield, because remember, if I punch across his face, this right hand's gonna swing across like that, right? So I come back with a shield. If I can, I'll come more closer, and I wanna try to cut inside with that shield, okay, if possible. Once I get there, I use my shield to target for my puño hook. In this case, I'm using my right hand. So I'm gonna come back here, step to twist like an angle 4. Boom, that's a short hook. But that short hook is loading up my left hip, that's that angle 2. Again, I realize I need this, I come back, and I go all the way through there, okay? So if we look at that one again, the timing of it should be from here. Once I get this, boom, that's the timing of that. So you don't want that hand to stay there forever because it's not going to. When you find that hook's here, I'm gonna turn and I'm actually gonna hit him here across the face. So again, that's where that puño comes in, right? I'm only making a slight adjustment here for the pack, so I actually don't want to hit him across the face. And we're doing pad work as a drill, okay? And then our final variation, I go through the process, right? My instinct tells me that from here, he gives me that hook. I can change it up, impact gunting. I come back over hook, okay? I tuck this behind because if I tucked it in front, he might be able to grab it. I tuck it behind, and you want to make sure that your elbow goes 90 degrees and it goes over his tricep or his elbow. Because if he tries to grab my stick and I switch my grip here, I can almost wrench his arm like that in an overhook position. Okay, so if we just turn for a quick second, I turn that over like so, okay? Grab my stick. I pull that over here, okay? Now I can easily hit him from here like this. Two of our options that we can do is if I maintain this overhook, I'm gonna bring this across his collarbones, palm side is up. I'm gonna take my left foot behind his left foot here, empty end curriculum, and I keep up the rope down here, okay? The other way I can do that, if we end up in that same position here, I finish the transfer, I'm gonna hook across the neck or either frame, and as I do that, I create the pressure, I'm gonna allow my right hand to come over into an underhook, and then I full circle throw it down, and then we end up in a ground position as well, okay? So to truly appreciate what's going on right now, it's much more than getting the reps in. Like, it's a good way to sweat and stuff, don't get me wrong, but you see, you have to have a little bit of experience in empty hand, a little bit of experience in single stick, a little experience in grappling, so you can truly appreciate, you know, if I were to choose to use my safety hand, what parts of my skill set am I drawing from? Because that cross should be a cross that, you know, is a good one. It's one that we've trained in a boxing system, in a Kuntao system. Don't just think because you can make a fist that you can throw a good punch. It's like picking up a stick and thinking you can swing it as well as someone who trains with a stick or sword. So we have so many different options, but it all stems back to self-defense, to assessing your opponent, your situation, assessing yourself and your skill set, because if you didn't know if your safety hand was capable, an angle 1 to his arm or an angle 1 to his head would be fully valid. Because to my knowledge, that's the best way I can defend myself. I can't tell if this guy is stronger than me or not. I'm not gonna take the chance. What? Okay, but again, if you guys, you know, train regularly, you guys also are in Kuntao, you do striking, you do sparring, you've seen a punch before. You know, you can almost telegraph a punch. You can tell someone's posture. And let's just say I got hit with a punch, right? Unless it was like a random shot that hit me across the face and the button, you know, I've been punched before, I've been kicked before. I'm not so worried about that. If he had a stick, then I would feel less inclined to go into a grappling, a disarming situation, because I know that even with lower ranked people that I've sparred with, that I've, you know, trained stick against stick, it's really hard for me to detain that, because they also have enough skill set to pull it back and go into X patterns and single sinawali's, and that's just not the kind of fight I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to save my life as efficiently as possible and get the heck out of here, either by detaining you or by putting you in a position where I can escape. That makes sense? Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
And then you can play around with this, like where, you know, you see the value of mid work as well, or pad work. It's not just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, sweat, 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 sweat. There are real applications you can have here that Kali often doesn't have because it's too dangerous to do that. Like, can we really angle 1 and angle 2 each other across the face and then come back tomorrow? No. Not even with padded sticks, right? So these mitts are going to allow us to practice these techniques at a pace that's a little bit more than tepi, a little bit more than a flow drill, and allow one side to truly feel, can I put these together? Can I feel the weight twisting from side to side and shifting, and can I deliver powerful impact with my strikes? Or can I find the timing to open up into grappling and then take my partner down? Because that's gonna happen in real time. It's not gonna happen like this where I get to this position here, and I go like this or like this. Ah, got it. All right, I gotta approach with a certain aggression that's gonna allow me to, succeed. And it's hard to practice that with weapons, because weapons is very definite. It's I hit you, and I succeed or I fail. It's not I hit you. Oh, sorry, take it back, and I hit you again softer. When I commit to that strike, that's it. Does that make sense? Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Nice one. All right, let's line up.